Whoever heard this powerful and miraculous combined prayer for instant and unbelievable miracles to Saint Padre Pio and Saint Rita of Cascia indeed witnessed it. In fact, millions of people pray through the intercession of these two saints because of the instant and sure response for their prayers. Millions of people across the world are devoted to Saint Rita, the saint known for help in times of need and in desperate situations. She is prominently known as the saint of the impossible causes and of all things that are impossible by human capabilities. Millions of people across the globe also are devoted to Saint Padre Pio, the saint known for the miracles that he performed while he was still on earth by bearing the stigmata on his hands, the wounds of Christ, the charity that he performed while living, and above all, his ultimate spirituality and devotion to the Holy Eucharist, through which a lot of miracles happened. He had divine power in him to the extent of being able to bilocate. All this is to show you how this combined prayer that you are listening to right now is going to change your life on the spot. Now, imagine the unstoppable power of a prayer that unites the mighty intercessions of Saint Padre Pio and Saint Rita of Cascia, two saints known for their miraculous works. Whatever challenges you face today, be it financial burdens, physical ailments, emotional pain, or spiritual struggles, this prayer is your divine key to transformation. Are you carrying the weight of life's steep mountains? Maybe you've set ambitious goals this year, dreaming of financial breakthroughs, academic success, or simply finding peace. Yet the chains of addiction, debt, illness, or unanswered prayers still hold you back. You may have fought tirelessly last year, striving to overcome habits that drain your strength and spirit, but the struggles persist. Listen carefully. This powerful prayer will call forth miracles that defy all understanding. If debt and financial stress weigh heavily on your heart, this prayer will unlock divine solutions, ease your burdens, and restore your hope. For those who've lent resources with little hope of repayment, this prayer will guide reconciliation and recovery. If unemployment or the pressure of providing for your loved ones feels overwhelming, be assured that this year, doors of provision and opportunity will open wide. For the sick, those whose diagnoses seem impossible, and for couples yearning for the joy of a child's laughter, this prayer will bring healing and blessings beyond what you can imagine in this early season of 2025. To the heartbroken, grieving the loss of loved ones, this prayer will replace sorrow with peace, fill your spirit with joy, and give you the strength to rise again. And if you feel stuck, trapped in work, relationships, or life itself, this is your moment of breakthrough. The combined intercessions of Saint Padre Pio and Saint Rita will illuminate your path, drawing you closer to the miracle you've been praying for. Even if your specific struggle isn't mentioned here, know this: God sees your needs, and through this prayer, His grace will flow into your life. Believe with unwavering faith, because today is the day you will experience an undeniable miracle, one that will lift you higher and transform your struggles into triumphs. Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. We are so grateful that you're here today. On this channel, we believe in the power of prayers and miracles. And today, you're about to experience an extraordinary miracle as we pray through the powerful intercessions of Saint Padre Pio and Saint Rita of Cascia. Before we begin, I invite you to take a moment to reflect on what you wish to receive through God's grace. Please feel free to comment your prayer request below and add Saint Padre Pio and Saint Rita. Help me to witness instant and unbelievable miracles now. Like this video, share it with your family and friends, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to stay updated whenever we upload new prayers that can bring healing, hope, and miracles into your life. Now, let's begin the powerful and miraculous prayer for instant and unbelievable miracles to Saint Padre Pio and Saint Rita of Cascia. As we start, we'll make the sign of the cross to invite God's presence into this sacred moment. And as we pray, have faith that miracles are unfolding for you right now. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, I come before you today in the powerful presence of Saint Padre Pio and Saint Rita of Cascia, asking for their intercession to bring about miracles in my life. I ask for healing, financial breakthroughs, peace in my heart, and the restoration of hope. Saint Padre Pio, who bore the wounds of Christ, please intercede for me with your powerful devotion and faith. I trust in your ability to bring about instant miracles and divine interventions. I ask for your assistance in overcoming the challenges I am facing, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual. Heal my body, mind, and spirit. Help me to overcome illness, pain, and suffering. If there is a financial burden upon me, bring forth the resources and provision that I need. Saint Rita, patroness of the impossible, I turn to you in my time of need. You who understood what it means to suffer and yet remained faithful, I ask for your guidance and protection. Please help me with all my impossible situations. Help me to find peace in moments of turmoil and restore hope where there is despair. Together, you both, powerful saints, I ask that you bring peace to my heart and hope to my spirit. Let God's will be done in my life, and may His miracles flow into every part of my being. I believe in the power of your intercession and trust that, with God's grace, I will receive the miracles I seek. I claim my healing, my breakthroughs, my joy, and my transformation. Saint Padre Pio, I ask for your intercession to help me overcome the struggles that have weighed me down for so long. You, who had such unwavering trust in God, I seek your assistance in bringing peace to my troubled heart. I am burdened by fear and anxiety, and I struggle with sleepless nights filled with worry. Please intercede for me, that I may find rest in God's love and peace in my mind. Help me to surrender my fears to God and trust in His divine plan for my life. Saint Rita, I turn to you in the face of unresolved conflicts and broken relationships. I am burdened with pain from misunderstandings and strife between loved ones. Please pray for me, that God may heal these wounds and bring reconciliation to my relationships. Help me to forgive those who have hurt me and soften my heart so that I may extend the mercy and love that God has shown to me. Restore peace in my family and friendships, and let love prevail in all my interactions. I pray for those who are trapped in cycles of addiction and destructive behaviors. I feel the weight of these chains, and I'm exhausted from fighting this battle on my own. Saint Padre Pio, you who understood the suffering of others, I ask for your powerful intercession. Please help me to break free from the grip of addiction and find healing and strength through God's grace. Guide me to the resources and support that I need, and fill me with the desire to seek healing rather than continue in my brokenness. Saint Rita, you know the pain of despair, and you are a beacon of hope to those in the darkest of times. I ask you to pray for all those suffering from mental illness and depression. I struggle with feelings of hopelessness and isolation, and I feel as though I am constantly weighed down by the darkness. Please, Saint Rita, help me to see the light again. Help me to experience joy and peace in the midst of my emotional struggles. Grant me the strength to continue moving forward and to trust in God's love, no matter the storm I face. I bring before you, Lord, the pain of broken dreams and unrealized hopes. Saint Padre Pio, you who persevered through so many trials, help me to keep moving forward, even when it feels like I am stuck in a place of discouragement. Please intercede for me, that I may find hope in God's promises, and that my dreams and desires may align with His will. Help me to trust that even when doors seem closed, God is preparing a path that is better than I could imagine. Saint Rita, I ask for your intercession for those who are struggling with infertility and the longing for children. I am heartbroken, and I feel as though this desire is unfulfilled. Please pray for me, that I may be blessed with the gift of a child, and that God may fill my heart with the joy of parenthood. For those in similar situations, I ask that you intercede on their behalf, that they too may experience the joy of motherhood or fatherhood. I also lift up those who are facing the agony of betrayal and abandonment. I feel the sting of rejection and the weight of feeling alone in the world. Saint Rita, you knew what it meant to endure loneliness and loss, and I ask for your comfort and strength in my moments of pain. Help me to find a solace in God's presence, and remind me that He is always with me, even when I feel forgotten. Help me to trust in the love of God, which is greater than any human betrayal or disappointment. Saint Padre Pio, you who knew the depth of suffering, I bring before you the pain of physical illness that seems unrelenting. I pray for all who suffer from chronic pain and illness that seems to have no end. Help me to find healing through your intercession and through God's divine mercy. Strengthen my body and soul, and grant me the courage to persevere, knowing that I am not alone in my suffering. I also ask for your help, Saint Rita, in the areas of work and career. I am struggling with dissatisfaction in my job, and the pressure to provide for my family is overwhelming. Please intercede for me, that I may find fulfillment and purpose in my work. Guide me to opportunities where I can use my talents and abilities for the greater good, and open doors of provision so that I may provide for my loved ones. Help me to trust that God will guide me to the right path, even when it feels uncertain. Please, Saint Padre Pio, continue to intercede for me in all the areas of my life where I feel weak. I need your strength, your guidance, and your faith to carry me through these difficult times. I trust that through your powerful intercession, I will receive the miracles I seek, and that God's grace will flow abundantly into every part of my life. Saint Padre Pio, I come before you, asking for your powerful intercession in overcoming the challenges in my finances. I am struggling with debt and constant worry about providing for my needs. Please help me, Saint Padre Pio, to find the financial breakthrough I so desperately need. Open doors of opportunity for me and guide me toward wise decisions that will relieve my financial burdens. Give me the strength to trust in God's provision, knowing that with His help, I can overcome all financial difficulties. Saint Rita, I turn to you in my time of uncertainty and confusion. My heart is heavy with indecision, and I find it difficult to make the right choices. Please intercede on my behalf, that I may be given the clarity and wisdom I need to navigate this season of my life. Guide my steps so I can follow the path that leads to peace, fulfillment, and joy. Help me to trust that God is always with me, even when I cannot see the way forward, and to have confidence in His perfect plan. Saint Padre Pio, I bring before you the struggles I face in my workplace. I am dealing with difficult co-workers, an unsatisfactory environment, and a sense of frustration in my career. Please pray for me, that I may find peace in my job, or that God may open a new door for me. Help me to be a light in the darkness, to be a person of integrity and kindness in all my dealings, and to trust that God's will is at work in my life, even in my job. I ask for the strength to persevere and the courage to move forward, knowing that God will provide. Saint Rita, I ask for your intercession for all those struggling with addiction to harmful substances or habits. I am weighed down by my own struggles, and I feel helpless to break free. Please intercede for me, that I may experience the healing power of God's love. Guide me to the resources and support I need to heal, and help me to find the courage to face each day without falling back into old patterns. Saint Rita, help me to remember that nothing is impossible for God, and that through His grace, I can be free. Saint Padre Pio, I come to you seeking healing from emotional wounds that I have carried for far too long. The scars of past hurts have deeply affected my spirit, and I struggle to find peace. Please intercede for me and ask God to heal my broken heart. Help me to forgive those who have hurt me and to release the pain that has been lingering in my soul. I long to experience peace, and I know that through your powerful intercession, I can find the healing that only God can give. Saint Rita, I lift up those who are suffering from the grief of losing loved ones. I too have known loss, and the pain of it feels unbearable at times. Please intercede for me and for all those who mourn. Comfort our hearts and help us to find peace in the promises of God. Help us to hold on to the hope that we will one day be reunited with our loved ones in eternal life. Please pray for those who are struggling to cope with their grief and ask God to fill their hearts with the peace that surpasses all understanding. Saint Padre Pio, I ask for your intercession for those who are struggling with a lack of purpose or direction in life. I feel lost, unsure of where I am headed, and uncertain of my place in this world. Please help me to find my true calling and to live a life that brings glory to God. Open my eyes to the opportunities that He has for me, and guide me toward the path that will bring fulfillment and peace. Help me to trust that God has a unique plan for me, and that He will lead me step by step to the life He has intended for me. Saint Rita, I bring before you those who are facing persecution, injustice, or oppression. I pray for those who are suffering in silence, oppressed by the weight of unfair circumstances. Please intercede for them, that they may find justice and freedom. Ask God to comfort them in their suffering and to protect them from further harm. May they experience the power of God's justice, and may their hearts be filled with hope that He will make all things right. Saint Padre Pio, I pray for those who are struggling with physical ailments that seem insurmountable. I feel the weight of illness in my own life, and I ask for your intercession to bring healing to my body. Please pray that God may restore health to my body and relieve the pain and discomfort that I have been enduring. I ask for strength to face each day and the courage to keep fighting with the faith that God is with me in my struggle. Saint Rita, I pray for those who are experiencing the pain of infertility. I know the deep yearning in my heart, and I ask for your intercession for all those who long to have children. Please pray that God may bless them with the gift of a child and grant them the joy and fulfillment that comes with parenthood. Help them to hold on to hope, even in the midst of disappointment, and remind them that God's timing is perfect. May they trust in His loving plan and experience the miracle of new life. I also lift up to you, Lord, the struggles of those who feel rejected and isolated. I know what it feels like to be alone, to feel as though no one understands my pain. Please, Saint Padre Pio and Saint Rita, intercede for all those who are experiencing rejection or loneliness. Help them to know that they are never truly alone, for God is always with them. Fill their hearts with His love and surround them with His peace, so that they may find the strength to continue on their journey. Saint Padre Pio, I come before you with a heavy heart, asking for your intercession in overcoming the despair of financial hardship. I feel the weight of bills and responsibilities that I cannot meet, and I fear I am sinking deeper into debt. Please help me, Saint Padre Pio, to find the solutions I need to overcome this financial strain. Guide me towards the resources I require. Open doors for opportunities, and help me to trust in God's provision. Please grant me the courage to take the necessary steps to move forward, knowing that with your intercession, financial miracles are possible. Saint Rita, I ask for your assistance in my journey toward emotional healing. I have been hurt by the actions of others, and the pain from past wounds continues to linger. I struggle to move beyond the bitterness and resentment that have taken root in my heart. Please intercede for me, that I may forgive those who have wronged me, and that I may find healing in God's love. Help me to let go of the past and move forward into a future filled with peace and joy. May I find the strength to rebuild my emotional health and embrace the healing that only God can provide. Saint Padre Pio, I bring before you my struggles with my spiritual life. I feel disconnected from God and too distant in my faith. The distractions of life have clouded my relationship with Him, and I long for a deeper connection. Please help me to rekindle my love for God, to return to Him with a sincere heart. I ask for your intercession to strengthen my faith, and for the grace to seek God with all my heart, mind, and soul. Help me to make time for prayer and reflection, and to deepen my spiritual practice, so that I may experience the joy of His presence in my life once again. Saint Rita, I come to you in prayer for those who are experiencing fear and anxiety over the unknown. The uncertainty of life has left me feeling lost and vulnerable, unable to see what the future holds. Please intercede for me, Saint Rita, and ask God to replace my fear with peace. Help me to trust in His plan for my life, even when it feels uncertain. Teach me to embrace the unknown, knowing that God is guiding me every step of the way. Let me find comfort in His presence and assurance that everything will work out according to His will. Saint Padre Pio, I ask for your intercession for all those who are struggling with addiction in any form, whether to substances, harmful habits, or destructive behaviors. I feel the chains that bind me, and I struggle to break free. Please intercede on my behalf, that I may find the strength to resist temptation and the grace to overcome my struggles. Help me to understand the root causes of my addiction and guide me toward the healing I need. Let me experience the freedom that comes from God's grace, and may I no longer be controlled by the things that harm me. Saint Rita, I pray for those who are dealing with the pain of betrayal, whether from friends, family, or partners. The hurt of being deceived and let down is overwhelming. Please intercede for me, that I may find the strength to heal from this betrayal. Help me to forgive, even when it seems impossible, and to release the anger and pain that I carry. Give me the grace to move forward with hope and peace, trusting that God will restore what was lost and guide me toward healthier, more trustworthy relationships. Saint Padre Pio, I ask for your powerful intercession in my efforts to achieve better health. I am struggling with physical ailments that seem to have no end. The pain and discomfort are draining my strength, and I find it hard to stay hopeful. Please intercede for me, that God may bring healing to my body. Help me to endure this trial with patience, and to trust that through His divine mercy, healing is possible. May I find strength in my faith, knowing that with God, all things are possible, and that healing will come in His perfect timing. Saint Rita, I pray for all those who are in need of guidance in their personal relationships. I am struggling to navigate complex dynamics with those I love, and it feels as though communication and understanding are out of reach. Please intercede for me, that I may find the wisdom to handle these relationships with love, patience, and grace. Help me to listen with an open heart and to express myself in a way that fosters peace and understanding. Guide me to the healing words and actions that will restore harmony in my relationships. Saint Padre Pio, I ask for your intercession for those who are searching for meaning and purpose in their lives. I feel lost and unsure of what God has planned for me, and I long for a sense of direction. Please help me to discern His will for me and to trust in the path He has set before me. Open my heart and mind to His voice, and help me to have the courage to follow where He leads, even when the path is uncertain or difficult. May I find peace and fulfillment in knowing that my life is part of a greater purpose in God's plan. Saint Rita, I pray for all those who are suffering from loneliness and isolation. I know the pain of feeling alone, and it is a heavy burden to carry. Please intercede for me and for all those who are struggling with loneliness, that they may feel the presence of God's love surrounding them. Help me to trust that I am never truly alone, for God is always by my side. Fill my heart with hope and peace, knowing that He is with me through every season of life. Help me to find true companionship and to experience the joy of authentic connections with others. Saint Padre Pio, I bring before you the struggles of those who are burdened with the weight of injustice, whether it is at work, in their communities, or within their personal lives. They face unfair circumstances that seem insurmountable. Please intercede for them, that God may grant them justice and restore what has been taken from them. Help them to endure their trials with courage and strength, and to trust in the ultimate justice of God. May they experience peace, knowing that He will right the wrongs in His perfect timing. Saint Rita, I ask for your intercession for those who are seeking to overcome feelings of inadequacy. I feel unworthy of God's blessings, and I often doubt my own abilities. Please pray for me, that I may come to understand my true worth in the eyes of God. Help me to see myself as He sees me, valued, loved, and capable of great things. Remove the doubts and insecurities that hold me back, and help me to walk confidently in the purpose God has designed for me. May I know that I am never beyond God's reach, and that He has equipped me to face every challenge with faith and grace. Saint Padre Pio, I come before you, humbly seeking your intercession for those who are struggling with a lack of self-confidence. I feel inadequate and unsure of my abilities, and it has held me back from stepping into the opportunities that God has placed before me. Please pray for me that I may see myself through God's eyes, capable, worthy, and full of potential. Help me to trust that He has equipped me with everything I need to fulfill His plan for my life. Guide me in overcoming my fears so that I can take bold steps forward in faith. Saint Rita, I lift up my prayer for those who are experiencing the pain of broken dreams. Life has not gone as planned, and I feel the weight of unfulfilled hopes and aspirations. I struggle to understand why things have turned out this way, and I fear that I may never achieve the dreams I once held dear. Please intercede for me, that I may find peace in knowing that God's plans for me are greater than my own. Help me to surrender my disappointments to Him and trust that He will bring new dreams to life in His perfect timing. Saint Padre Pio, I ask for your help for those who are suffering in silence, struggling with personal battles that no one else can see. The weight of my inner turmoil feels overwhelming, and I am unsure how to find peace. Please intercede on my behalf, that I may be freed from the burden of hidden suffering. Help me to open my heart to God's healing touch, and grant me the strength to face each day with courage and faith. Please help me to know that I'm not alone in my struggles, and that God is always there, ready to comfort and heal. Saint Rita, I bring to you my concerns for those who are struggling in their marriages or relationships. I feel the tension and distance between myself and my partner, and I long for healing and reconciliation. Please pray for me that God may restore harmony and love in my relationship. Help us both to communicate with kindness, understanding, and patience. Heal the wounds that have caused division and guide us back to a place of unity. I ask that God may bless our relationship with the grace to grow together, and that we may be drawn closer to Him and to one another. Saint Padre Pio, I ask for your intercession for those who are experiencing the hardship of unemployment. The weight of uncertainty about the future is pressing down on me, and I feel helpless in the face of it. Please pray for me that God may open doors of opportunity for employment, and that I may find a job that provides for my needs and allows me to use my gifts. Help me to trust that God is working behind the scenes and that He will provide for me in His time. Give me the courage to keep searching and the perseverance to keep moving forward, knowing that His plan for my life is always good. Saint Rita, I pray for those who are suffering from mental health struggles, those who feel overwhelmed by anxiety, depression, or despair. I know the heaviness of these burdens, and I ask for your intercession for all those experiencing mental and emotional pain. Please pray that God may bring relief to their minds and peace to their hearts. Help them to find the support and healing they need, and may they experience the love of God in a tangible way. Let them know that they are not defined by their struggles, but by God's love for them. Saint Padre Pio, I ask for your intercession for those who are facing difficulties in their studies or academic pursuits. The pressure of exams, deadlines, and academic expectations has caused me stress and anxiety. Please intercede for me, that I may have clarity of mind, focus, and the wisdom to succeed in my studies. Help me to manage my time wisely and to trust that God will guide me toward success. May I use the knowledge I gain to serve Him and others, and may I always remain humble in my achievements. Saint Rita, I bring before you the challenges of those who feel trapped in negative cycles of behavior, whether it be patterns of anger, frustration, or habits that seem impossible to break. I ask for your intercession for healing and transformation. Please help me to overcome the behaviors that hold me captive and to replace them with healthier, more positive actions. Guide me toward the strength I need to make lasting changes in my life, and help me to remember that God's grace is sufficient to heal even the deepest wounds. Saint Padre Pio, I pray for those who are struggling with a lack of peace in their hearts. The world around me is chaotic, and my mind is often filled with anxiety, confusion, and worry. Please intercede for me, that God may grant me His peace that surpasses all understanding. Help me to find rest in His presence and to trust that He is in control of every situation in my life. Let me experience the peace that comes from knowing I am held in His loving care, no matter what storms may surround me. Saint Rita, I ask for your intercession for those who are seeking forgiveness, either from others or from themselves. I know the difficulty of carrying guilt and shame, and I ask that you help me to release these burdens. Please intercede on my behalf, that I may be granted the grace to forgive others who have wronged me, and to accept God's forgiveness for the mistakes I have made. Help me to heal from the wounds of unforgiveness and to walk in the freedom that comes from reconciliation and grace. Saint Padre Pio, I pray for those who are suffering from the effects of chronic illness. The ongoing pain and fatigue weigh heavily on my body and spirit, and I long for relief. Please intercede for me, that God may bring healing and comfort to my body. Help me to trust that, even in my suffering, God is with me and will provide the strength I need to endure. I ask for the grace to bear this cross with patience and for the courage to continue living each day with faith, knowing that healing is possible through His power. Saint Rita, I bring to you the hearts of those who are struggling with addictions, whether to substances, food, or unhealthy relationships. I know the destructive grip of addiction, and I ask for your powerful intercession. Please intercede for me, that I may be set free from the chains of addiction. Help me to find healing and restoration in God's grace. Guide me toward the support I need, and give me the courage to break free from the cycle of dependency. May I find lasting freedom and peace through the intercession of God's mercy. Saint Padre Pio, I humbly ask for your intercession as I struggle with feelings of doubt about my future. I am unsure about the direction I am heading and feel overwhelmed by the unknowns. Please help me to have faith in God's plan for my life, even when I cannot see the path ahead. Guide me in trusting that He is leading me toward a future filled with hope, and help me to take the necessary steps forward, even when it feels uncertain. May I learn to surrender my fears and place my trust completely in His care, knowing that He will never lead me astray. Saint Rita, I bring before you my struggles with guilt and regret. I am burdened by past mistakes and the consequences of my actions. Please intercede for me, that I may experience God's forgiveness and find the strength to forgive myself. Help me to let go of the past and to move forward with a heart full of peace and renewed hope. Teach me that I am not defined by my failures, but by the love and mercy of God. May I find healing in His grace and be free from the weight of guilt that holds me back from living fully. Saint Padre Pio, I pray for those who are struggling to find peace in their family relationships. Tensions, misunderstandings, and hurt feelings have caused division in my family, and it feels like peace is far from our reach. Please intercede for us, that God may heal the rifts between us and restore harmony. Help us to forgive one another and to communicate with love and understanding. Guide us to seek peace, and may our hearts be filled with compassion and kindness toward one another. I ask that God may restore our family relationships, bringing us closer together and to Him. Saint Rita, I pray for all those who are facing the pain of infertility or difficulty in conceiving a child. The longing for a child seems to grow with each passing day, and the waiting is becoming unbearable. Please intercede on my behalf, that God may bless me with the gift of children if it is His will. Grant me patience in this waiting period and help me to trust that God's timing is always perfect. May I find peace in His plan, and may He bless me with the joy of parenthood when the time is right. Saint Padre Pio, I ask for your intercession for those who are dealing with anxiety and constant worry. The fear of what might happen in the future consumes me, and I feel trapped by my thoughts. Please help me to find peace in the present moment and to release my worries into God's hands. Guide me to trust that He is in control and that nothing is beyond His ability to handle. Help me to rest in His peace, knowing that I do not have to carry these burdens on my own. Saint Rita, I lift up my prayer for all those who feel trapped in difficult circumstances that seem impossible to escape. Whether it is a challenging job, a difficult living situation, or toxic relationships, I feel stuck and unsure of how to move forward. Please intercede for me, that God may open doors for a way out and provide the strength I need to change my circumstances. Help me to trust that nothing is impossible with God, and that He will provide the opportunities and guidance I need to experience freedom and renewal. Saint Padre Pio, I pray for those who are facing the challenge of starting over, whether it is beginning a new career, moving to a new place, or starting a new chapter in life. The uncertainty of a starting over feels daunting. Please intercede for me, that God may give me the courage and wisdom to embrace new beginnings with faith. Help me to trust in His guidance and to have the strength to move forward with hope, knowing that every new beginning is an opportunity for growth and transformation. Saint Rita, I come before you with a heavy heart, praying for those who are suffering from chronic loneliness. No matter how much I try to connect with others, I often feel isolated and alone. Please intercede for me, that God may send me the companionship I need and help me to build meaningful relationships. Teach me to find comfort in God's presence and help me to trust that He will never leave me alone. May I experience the joy of true friendship and community and know that I am always loved by God. Saint Padre Pio, I ask for your intercession for all those who are struggling with low self-esteem. I often find myself doubting my worth and questioning my abilities. Please pray for me, that I may come to see myself as God sees me, valuable, loved, and capable of great things. Help me to recognize the unique gifts and talents God has given me, and to use them for His glory. May I walk in confidence, knowing that my worth is not based on the opinions of others, but on the love and purpose God has for me. Saint Rita, I pray for all those who are experiencing the pain of separation or divorce. The end of a relationship feels like a loss of part of myself, and the pain can be unbearable. Please intercede for me, that God may heal the wounds of separation and help me to find peace in the midst of this difficult transition. Grant me the strength to move forward with hope, knowing that God has a plan for my life and that He will restore what has been broken. Help me to find healing and wholeness and to trust that His love will carry me through this painful season. Saint Padre Pio, I bring before you my struggles with time management. I feel overwhelmed by all the demands on my life, and I am often unsure of how to prioritize what is most important. Please intercede for me, that God may grant me the wisdom to manage my time well and to balance my responsibilities in a way that honors Him. Help me to focus on what truly matters and to find peace in knowing that I do not need to do everything, but only what God has called me to do. May I learn to rest in His timing and trust that He will guide me through every day. Saint Padre Pio, I come before you with a heart burdened by uncertainty about my relationships. Whether it's a friend who has grown distant, a family member I can't connect with, or a loved one whose heart feels far away, I feel the weight of this disconnection. Please intercede on my behalf, that God may bring healing to these broken relationships and restore the bond that was once shared. Help me to open my heart to forgiveness, understanding, and love, and guide me in restoring peace where there is conflict. May God give me the wisdom to navigate these relationships and fill them with harmony and love. Saint Rita, I pray for those who are struggling with emotional wounds that feel impossible to heal. Whether it's the pain of betrayal, the loss of a dream, or the scars of abuse, I carry the weight of these deep hurts. Please intercede for me, that God may bring healing to my broken heart. Help me to release the pain of the past and allow God's healing grace to touch the places in my heart that need His restoration. Teach me to walk in the freedom that comes with forgiveness, and help me to trust that God can bring beauty from the ashes of my pain. Saint Padre Pio, I ask for your intercession for those of us who are struggling with the weight of responsibility. The demands of work, family, and daily life feel overwhelming, and I often feel like I am carrying more than I can handle. Please pray for me, that God may grant me the strength to carry my burdens and the wisdom to know when to seek help. Help me to trust that He will provide what I need to fulfill my responsibilities, and give me the courage to ask for support when necessary. May I always remember that I do not have to carry these burdens alone, for God is with me every step of the way. Saint Rita, I lift up my prayer for all those who feel trapped in cycles of negativity, whether in their thoughts, attitudes, or behavior. It feels like I can't break free from these patterns that hold me back. Please intercede for me, that God may help me to overcome the negative thoughts and habits that keep me in bondage. Guide me toward positive change and transformation, and help me to replace negativity with the light of God's love. May I experience the freedom that comes with surrendering these habits to God and trusting in His power to transform my life. Saint Padre Pio, I bring before you the struggles of those who are facing the challenge of being misunderstood, whether at work, in relationships, or in life in general. I feel like my intentions are often misinterpreted, and I carry the weight of being misunderstood. Please intercede for me, that God may grant me the clarity to communicate with understanding and the patience to handle these misunderstandings with grace. Help me to trust that God sees my heart and knows my intentions, and that His truth will always prevail. May I find peace in knowing that I am loved by God, regardless of how others may perceive me. Saint Rita, I ask for your intercession for those who are suffering from the effects of addiction, whether it be to substances, habits, or unhealthy relationships. The grip of addiction feels suffocating, and I long for freedom. Please pray for me, that God may deliver me from this bondage and grant me the strength to break free from the cycle of addiction. Help me to find the courage to seek help and the wisdom to follow the path of healing. May I experience the freedom that comes with surrendering my addiction to God and trusting in His power to transform me. Saint Padre Pio, I pray for those who are struggling with a sense of hopelessness, whether it's due to illness, financial difficulties, or personal challenges. I feel like I am sinking under the weight of despair. Please intercede for me, that God may restore my hope and give me the strength to keep moving forward. Help me to trust in His goodness and in His ability to bring new life even in the most hopeless situations. May my heart be filled with the hope that only comes from knowing that God is always with me, working all things for my good. Saint Rita, I lift up my prayer for those who are dealing with the pain of regret. The choices I have made in the past weigh heavily on my heart, and I carry the burden of wishing I had done things differently. Please intercede for me, that God may help me to release my regrets and find peace in His forgiveness. Teach me to trust that He works all things together for good, even the mistakes I have made. Help me to let go of the past and walk in the freedom that comes from His grace and mercy. Saint Padre Pio, I pray for those who are struggling with financial insecurity. The fear of not having enough to meet my needs or to provide for my loved ones is overwhelming. Please intercede for me, that God may provide for all of my needs according to His riches in glory. Help me to trust that He is my ultimate provider, and that He will open doors of opportunity and provision. May I learn to live with contentment, knowing that God will always provide for me, and may I find peace in His faithfulness. Saint Rita, I ask for your intercession for those who feel stuck in unhealthy relationships, whether it's with a partner, family member, or friend. I feel trapped in a toxic dynamic that drains my peace. Please intercede for me, that God may show me the way to healing and freedom. Help me to know when to set boundaries and when to walk away from relationships that are damaging to my soul. Grant me the wisdom to discern God's will in these situations and the courage to take the steps necessary for my well-being. Saint Padre Pio, I come before you, asking for your intercession for those who are struggling with chronic fatigue. The constant exhaustion, both physical and emotional, is overwhelming, and I often feel like I have nothing left to give. Please intercede for me, that God may grant me rest, renewal, and the strength to carry on. Help me to find balance in my life and to prioritize my health and well-being. May I remember that rest is a gift from God, and may I trust that He will replenish my strength as I seek His peace. Saint Rita, I pray for those who are dealing with the pain of losing a job or career, the sense of loss, the uncertainty of the future, and the strain on my finances feels unbearable. Please intercede for me, that God may open new doors of opportunity and lead me to a job that provides for my needs and fulfills my purpose. Help me to trust that He has a plan for my life, and that even this setback is part of His greater plan for good. May I find peace in His guidance and trust that He will never leave me without the provision I need. Saint Padre Pio, I come before you with a heart burdened by loneliness. Despite being surrounded by people, I often feel isolated and disconnected. Please intercede for me, that God may fill the emptiness in my heart with His love. Help me to find true connection and fellowship, and guide me to the people who will support and uplift me in my journey. May I always remember that I am never truly alone, for God is always with me, even in my moments of solitude. Please pray for me, that I may experience the comfort of His presence. Saint Rita, I lift up my prayer for those struggling with the weight of responsibilities in caregiving. Whether it's caring for an elderly parent, a sick spouse, or a child with special needs, I feel overwhelmed by the constant demands. Please intercede for me, that God may give me the strength and patience to continue in this role. Grant me the grace to serve with love, and help me to find rest and renewal when I feel weary. May God bless me with the peace of knowing that my care is honoring Him, and may He provide the support I need to carry this burden with joy. Saint Padre Pio, I pray for those who feel trapped by fear and anxiety, whether it's a fear of failure, fear of the unknown, or fear of what others think. I feel paralyzed by my worries. Please intercede for me, that God may cast out all fear and replace it with peace. Help me to trust that His love is greater than any fear I face, and that He will always be with me, no matter what challenges arise. Grant me the courage to face each day with confidence, knowing that God is in control and that I am safe in His care. Saint Rita, I pray for those who are struggling with unforgiveness. The wounds from past hurts are still raw, and I find it difficult to let go of the pain. Please intercede for me, that God may help me to forgive those who have wronged me, just as He has forgiven me. Teach me to release the burden of anger and bitterness, and to experience the peace that comes with forgiveness. Help me to see others as God sees them, and to trust that He will bring justice in His time. May I find healing in His grace and freedom in choosing forgiveness. Saint Padre Pio, I ask for your intercession for all those who are struggling with addiction, whether it's to substances, technology, or unhealthy habits. I feel trapped by the compulsion to return to these destructive behaviors, and it is hard to break free. Please pray for me, that God may grant me the strength to overcome these addictions and the wisdom to seek help where necessary. Help me to trust in His power to heal and restore, and to find new ways to cope with life's stresses that are healthy and life-giving. May I experience the freedom that comes with breaking the chains of addiction. Saint Rita, I bring before you those who are facing deep depression and despair. The weight of sadness and hopelessness seems too much to bear, and it's hard to see a way out. Please intercede for me, that God may bring light into the darkness and fill me with His joy. Help me to find strength in Him, even on the darkest days, and to hold on to the hope that He will restore my joy. May I remember that even in my suffering, God is present with me, and He has the power to heal and renew my mind and spirit. Saint Padre Pio, I pray for those who are struggling with the impact of past trauma, whether it's the lingering effects of abuse, a painful loss, or the scars left by difficult experiences. I feel as though I can't escape the pain. Please intercede for me, that God may bring healing to my broken heart and mind. Help me to surrender my past to Him, and to trust that He can restore what has been lost. May I find peace in His healing touch, and may His grace cover me as I walk through the process of recovery and restoration. Saint Rita, I lift up my prayer for all those who are facing chronic illness, pain, or disability. The daily struggle with physical challenges feels exhausting, and I often feel discouraged. Please intercede for me, that God may grant me healing and strength to endure. Help me to find joy even in the midst of pain, and to trust that God is using my suffering for a greater purpose. May He give me the grace to accept my condition with patience and peace, knowing that He is always with me and that His love never fails. Saint Padre Pio, I ask for your intercession for all those struggling with financial instability. Whether it's the fear of losing my job, the stress of living paycheck to paycheck, or the uncertainty of future financial needs, I feel overwhelmed. Please intercede for me, that God may provide for my needs and guide me to better financial stability. Help me to trust in His provision and to be wise in managing the resources He has given me. May I learn to rely on Him in all things, knowing that He is faithful to provide. Saint Rita, I bring before you my worries about the future. I feel uncertain about the path ahead, whether it's in my career, personal life, or other areas. The unknowns weigh heavily on my heart, and I struggle to see what God's plan is for me. Please intercede for me, that I may find peace in trusting that God holds my future in His hands. Help me to surrender my fears and anxieties to Him, and to trust that His plans are always for my good. May I move forward in faith, knowing that He is guiding my steps every day. Saint Padre Pio, I pray for those who are struggling with guilt and shame, whether it's because of past mistakes, sins, or things left undone. The weight of these feelings is crushing. Please intercede for me, that God may help me to experience His forgiveness and grace. Help me to release my shame and to embrace the truth that I am loved and redeemed by Him. May I walk in the freedom that comes from knowing that God's mercy is greater than my failures and that He has washed me clean. Saint Rita, I ask for your intercession for all those who are suffering from grief, whether it's the loss of a loved one, a dream, or something that was once dear. The pain of loss feels overwhelming. Please pray for me, that God may bring comfort to my aching heart. Help me to grieve with hope, knowing that God is with me in my sorrow and that He will restore what has been lost in His time. May I find peace in His presence and trust that He will bring beauty from the ashes of my grief. Saint Padre Pio, I come before you, burdened by feelings of guilt and self-doubt. I feel unworthy of God's love and forgiveness, and this weighs heavily on my heart. Please intercede for me, that I may experience God's unconditional mercy and grace. Help me to accept His forgiveness and to believe that I am a beloved child of God, no matter my past. Release me from the chains of shame and lead me toward healing, so that I can walk forward with renewed faith in God's love. Saint Rita, I lift up to you my fear of failure. It seems that no matter how hard I try, success always feels out of reach. Please intercede for me, that I may have the courage to persevere, even when it feels impossible. Help me to trust that God's plan for me is greater than my fears, and that even in failure, there are lessons to be learned. Give me the strength to try again, and may my efforts be blessed with His guidance and wisdom. May I find peace in knowing that God does not measure success as the world does, but by the depth of our trust in Him. Saint Padre Pio, I pray for those who are struggling with poor mental health, whether it's anxiety, depression, or the weight of overwhelming thoughts. I feel as though my mind is a battlefield. Please intercede for me, that God may grant me peace in my thoughts and clarity in my heart. Help me to release my worries and to rest in God's loving embrace. May I find strength in His Word, knowing that He will bring me through this darkness into the light of His healing and grace. Saint Rita, I lift up to you all those suffering from unresolved conflict in their relationships, whether it's with family, friends, or a partner. The pain of division and misunderstanding is difficult to bear. Please intercede for me, that God may bring reconciliation and healing. Help me to soften my heart, to forgive those who have wronged me, and to seek peace in every relationship. May God's love be the bridge that heals wounds and mends broken ties. I trust that He will restore harmony in my life. Saint Padre Pio, I ask for your intercession for those who are suffering from addiction, whether it be to substances, food, or other harmful behaviors. I feel powerless in the face of my own struggles and unsure of where to turn. Please pray for me, that I may be freed from the chains of addiction. Help me to find the courage to seek help and to make the necessary changes in my life. I trust in God's ability to heal me and to give me the strength to overcome these challenges one day at a time. Saint Rita, I bring before you the burdens of financial worry, the weight of debts, bills, and uncertainty about the future feels overwhelming, and I am unsure how to navigate these challenges. Please intercede for me, that God may provide the wisdom and resources I need to manage my finances. Help me to trust in His provision and to take wise and responsible steps in my finances. May I learn to be content with what I have and trust that God will always provide for my needs, even in difficult times. Saint Padre Pio, I pray for those who feel spiritually dry, disconnected from God, or uncertain of His presence in their lives. It feels as though my prayers go unanswered, and I struggle to feel close to Him. Please intercede for me, that God may renew my spirit and draw me nearer to Him. Help me to trust that even in moments of spiritual dryness, He is with me. May His Holy Spirit fill me with His love, and may I experience His nearness in profound ways. Please pray for me, that I may have the desire to seek Him more deeply. Saint Rita, I ask for your intercession for those who are struggling with the aftermath of trauma, whether it's from abuse, loss, or life's hardships. The scars run deep, and it feels as though healing will never come. Please intercede for me, that God may bring healing to my brokenness. Help me to open my heart to His love and to trust that He will guide me through the pain. May I receive His peace and grace, and may His healing touch restore my spirit, so that I can move forward in life with strength and hope. Saint Padre Pio, I lift up to you all those who are dealing with illness, particularly those with chronic conditions that seem to have no end. I feel as though I will never find relief, and my body feels weary. Please intercede for me, that God may heal me or give me the strength to endure. Help me to trust that God's grace is sufficient, even when healing seems distant. May His peace fill my heart, and may I find comfort in knowing that He is always with me through every trial. Saint Rita, I pray for those who are struggling with the fear of the unknown, whether it's related to work, relationships, or personal decisions. The uncertainty of the future is causing me anxiety. Please intercede for me, that God may give me clarity and peace about the future. Help me to trust that He holds my future in His hands and that He has a good plan for me. May I find comfort in His promises and may I move forward in faith, knowing that He will guide me every step of the way. Saint Padre Pio, I bring before you all those who are facing difficult decisions, whether it's choosing a career path, deciding on relationships, or making important life choices. I feel overwhelmed by the weight of my options. Please intercede for me, that God may grant me the wisdom and discernment to make the right choices. Help me to trust that He will lead me in the right direction, and that He will give me the peace I need to move forward with confidence. May I always seek His will in all that I do. Saint Rita, I lift up to you those who are suffering from feelings of rejection or abandonment, whether it's from loved ones, friends, or even the church. I feel as though I don't belong. Please intercede for me, that God may remind me of my worth and value. Help me to remember that I am His beloved, and that His love for me is unconditional. May His presence fill the void I feel, and may I find belonging in Him, knowing that I am never truly alone. Saint Padre Pio, I come before you, feeling burdened by the weight of unresolved conflicts in my family. The strife and misunderstandings have caused division and sadness, and I feel helpless in restoring peace. Please intercede for me, that God may soften the hearts of those involved and bring reconciliation. Help me to be an instrument of peace and to forgive where there has been hurt. Guide me to speak words of healing and love, so that we may come together as a family, united in His love. Saint Rita, I lift up to you my worries about my future. The uncertainty of what lies ahead fills me with fear and doubt. I am unsure of the path I should take, and whether I will find success or fulfillment. Please intercede for me, that God may reveal His plan for my life and grant me the wisdom to walk in His will. Help me to trust in His timing and to have faith that He will guide me to where I am meant to be. May I find peace in knowing that He holds my future in His hands. Saint Padre Pio, I pray for my struggles with feelings of loneliness. At times, it feels as though no one understands me, and I am isolated in my pain. Please intercede for me, that God may surround me with loving and supportive people. Help me to open my heart to the relationships He has prepared for me, and to feel His presence with me at all times. May His love fill the emptiness in my heart and bring me the comfort I need to endure this season of loneliness. Saint Rita, I ask for your intercession for my worries about my health, whether it's a chronic condition or an unexplained illness. The uncertainty of my body's well-being causes me fear. Please intercede for me, that God may bring healing to my body and strength to my spirit. Help me to trust in His power to heal, even when the doctors cannot provide answers. May His grace sustain me, and may I find peace in knowing that He is always with me in my struggles. Saint Padre Pio, I bring before you my difficulties with my job and career. I feel stuck and uncertain about my future, and it seems as though I am not progressing. Please intercede for me, that God may open doors of opportunity and provide me with the wisdom to make the right decisions. Help me to trust in His plan for my life, even when the path ahead seems unclear. May He grant me the courage to take the next step and the perseverance to continue moving forward. Saint Rita, I lift up to you my fears and anxieties about the state of the world. The unrest, injustice, and suffering around me are overwhelming, and I feel helpless in the face of it all. Please intercede for me, that God may bring peace and healing to the world. Help me to be a light in the darkness, to stand for what is right, and to trust that God's love will overcome all the hate and pain in this world. May I find hope in His promises, and may I do my part to bring about change in the world. Saint Padre Pio, I pray for those struggling with addictions and dependencies, whether it's drugs, alcohol, or unhealthy relationships. The grip of addiction is strong, and I feel powerless to break free. Please intercede for me, that God may grant me the strength to overcome these chains. Help me to find healing and to take the steps necessary to live a life of freedom. May I feel God's love and mercy washing over me, giving me the courage to let go of what is harmful and embrace His healing grace. Saint Rita, I lift up to you my struggles with self-doubt and insecurity. I often feel that I am not enough, that I will never be able to achieve my goals, or that I am not worthy of God's love and blessings. Please intercede for me, that God may help me to see myself through His eyes, worthy, loved, and capable. Help me to grow in confidence and to trust that He has equipped me with everything I need to fulfill my purpose. May I walk forward in faith, knowing that with God, all things are possible. Saint Padre Pio, I come before you overwhelmed by the financial difficulties I am facing. The burden of debts, bills, and the pressure to provide for my family seems insurmountable. Please intercede for me, that God may open the doors to provision and bring solutions to my financial struggles. Help me to trust in His timing and provision, knowing that He will supply all of my needs. May I have the wisdom to manage my finances well, and the faith to believe that God will always provide for me. Saint Rita, I pray for my relationships, particularly those that feel strained or broken. I desire peace and harmony, but it feels as though misunderstandings and hurt feelings are pushing people away. Please intercede for me, that God may bring healing and restoration to these relationships. Help me to be a peacemaker and to offer forgiveness where there has been pain. May His love bind us together and restore unity where there has been division. Saint Padre Pio, I lift up to you my struggles with fear and worry. The uncertainty of life and the challenges I face often leave me feeling anxious and fearful for the future. Please intercede for me, that God may grant me peace and strength in the midst of my fears. Help me to trust in His promises and to know that He is always with me. May His perfect love cast out all fear, and may I find rest in His embrace. Saint Rita, I bring before you my struggles with grief and loss. The pain of losing a loved one is overwhelming, and I feel as though I will never fully heal. Please intercede for me, that God may comfort me in my sorrow and bring peace to my heart. Help me to remember that death is not the end, but the beginning of eternal life with God. May His love fill the emptiness in my heart and give me the strength to continue forward in faith. Saint Padre Pio, I pray for those suffering from the weight of guilt and regret. The mistakes of the past haunt me, and I feel as though I am trapped in my own shortcomings. Please intercede for me, that God may grant me the grace to forgive myself and to move forward in His love. Help me to see that my past does not define me, but that through God's mercy, I can be transformed and made new. May I find peace in His forgiveness and walk in the freedom He offers. Saint Padre Pio, I bring before you the burden of my mental and emotional well-being. My mind often races with thoughts that overwhelm me, and I feel trapped in a cycle of anxiety, fear, and sadness. Please intercede for me, that God may bring peace to my troubled mind. Help me to release the worries that plague me and to trust that He will provide the strength I need to navigate life's challenges. May His love calm my thoughts, and may I experience His healing in my spirit. Saint Rita, I ask for your intercession as I struggle with my sense of purpose. At times, I feel lost, uncertain about the direction my life is headed. I long to know what God's will is for me and to fulfill the purpose He has for my life. Please intercede for me, that God may open my eyes to the opportunities around me and help me to find the path that leads to fulfillment. Give me the courage to step forward in faith, knowing that God is guiding me every step of the way. Saint Padre Pio, I pray for strength in the face of the daily pressures and demands that seem to weigh me down. Whether it's the responsibilities of work, caring for my family, or personal obligations, I often feel overwhelmed by the sheer amount of tasks before me. Please intercede for me, that God may grant me the strength and wisdom to manage these pressures with grace. Help me to find balance in my life and to remember that I do not need to carry these burdens alone. God is always with me. Saint Rita, I lift up to you the difficulties I face in my marriage or relationship. There are times when communication is strained, misunderstandings occur, and I feel distant from my partner. Please intercede for me, that God may restore harmony, understanding, and love between us. Help me to be patient, compassionate, and forgiving, so that we can build a relationship founded on respect and love. May His grace renew our hearts and draw us closer to one another in unity and peace. Saint Padre Pio, I bring before you the fear of failure that grips me at times. There are moments when I question whether I am capable of achieving the goals I've set for myself, and I fear that I will fall short. Please intercede for me, that God may give me the courage to move forward despite my fears. Help me to trust in His plan and to remember that with His guidance, I am never alone in my endeavors. May His strength be made perfect in my weakness, and may I walk forward in confidence, knowing that I am capable through His grace. Saint Rita, I pray for those who are facing unjust situations, whether in their personal lives, in their work, or in society. The pain of being treated unfairly is deep, and it often feels as though no one sees the injustice. Please intercede for me, that God may bring justice where there is wrongdoing. Help me to trust that He sees all things and will bring truth to light in His perfect timing. May His righteousness prevail, and may those who suffer from injustice find solace in knowing that God is their defender. Saint Padre Pio, I lift up to you those who are struggling with addiction, whether to substances, behaviors, or unhealthy habits. The chains of addiction are heavy, and I feel powerless to break free. Please intercede for me, that God may grant freedom and deliverance from these destructive habits. Help me to find strength in His love and to embrace the healing He offers. May His grace transform my heart and mind, and may I walk in the freedom He desires for me. Saint Rita, I pray for those who are grieving the loss of a loved one. The pain of loss can feel unbearable, and the void left behind is deeply felt. Please intercede for me, that God may bring comfort and peace to those who mourn. Help them to feel His presence and to know that He is near to the brokenhearted. May His love heal their wounds and grant them the strength to move forward in faith, trusting that they will be reunited with their loved ones in His perfect time. Saint Padre Pio, I bring before you my struggles with patience. There are times when I grow weary of waiting for things to change, and the waiting seems endless. Please intercede for me, that God may help me to trust in His perfect timing and to remain patient even when I don't understand the reasons for the delays. Help me to grow in faith and perseverance, knowing that His plans are always for my good. May I rest in His timing, trusting that He will bring about His will in my life. Saint Rita, I pray for my spiritual life, that I may grow deeper in my relationship with God. There are times when I feel distant from Him, as if my prayers go unanswered and my heart is cold. Please intercede for me, that God may renew my passion for Him and draw me closer to His heart. Help me to remain faithful in prayer, to seek Him daily, and to trust that He is always with me, even in the silent moments. May His love reignite the fire in my soul and lead me to greater intimacy with Him. Saint Padre Pio, I pray for those who feel trapped in situations they cannot control, whether in unhealthy work environments, difficult living situations, or relationships that drain their energy. Please intercede for me, that God may bring a way of escape and deliverance from these situations. Help me to trust that He will make a way where there seems to be no way. May His presence provide the comfort and peace needed to endure, and may He open doors to new opportunities that align with His will. Saint Rita, I lift up to you those who are experiencing a crisis of faith. When doubts cloud my heart and questions about God's goodness arise, it can feel as though my faith is slipping away. Please intercede for me, that God may strengthen my belief and help me to overcome my doubts. Grant me the grace to trust in Him, even when I cannot see the way forward. May His love reassure me, and may my faith grow deeper as I lean on His promises. Saint Padre Pio, I come before you with the weight of loneliness. There are moments when I feel isolated and distant from those around me, and it seems as though no one truly understands my heart. Please intercede for me, that God may bring companionship and meaningful connections into my life. Help me to remember that even in solitude, I am never truly alone, for God's presence is always with me. May He fill the emptiness I feel and surround me with love, bringing peace to my heart. Saint Rita, I pray for the families who are experiencing conflict or division. I know that family is a source of strength and support, but sometimes misunderstandings and disagreements can tear at the fabric of those relationships. Please intercede for me, that God may heal the wounds in my family and restore unity among us. Help us to forgive one another, to communicate with love, and to work towards peace. May His grace transform our hearts and draw us closer to one another, that we may experience the joy of unity in Him. Saint Padre Pio, I ask for your intercession as I battle with my sense of self-worth. At times, I feel inadequate, as if I am not enough. These feelings of insecurity weigh heavily on me, and I struggle to see the value in myself. Please intercede for me, that God may help me see myself through His eyes. Help me to remember that I am His beloved child, created in His image, and that I am worthy of His love. May His truth replace the lies of insecurity, and may I find my identity and confidence in Him alone. Saint Rita, I pray for the parents who are struggling with raising their children. The responsibility can feel overwhelming at times, and I often find myself unsure of how to guide and nurture my children in the right way. Please intercede for me, that God may grant me wisdom and patience as I raise my children. Help me to lead them with love, to model His values in my actions, and to instill in them a strong faith. May God's grace surround our family, helping us to grow in love and understanding. Saint Padre Pio, I lift up to you the difficulties I face in overcoming negative patterns or habits that seem impossible to break. I struggle with certain behaviors that I know are not in line with God's will, and despite my efforts, I find myself falling into these old ways again. Please intercede for me, that God may give me the strength to break free from these habits. Help me to find freedom in His grace and to walk in the newness of life He offers. May His love empower me to change, and may I embrace His will with a renewed heart and mind. Saint Rita, I pray for those who are facing doubts about their future. The uncertainty of what lies ahead can be paralyzing, and I often wonder if I am on the right path. Please intercede for me, that God may give me clarity and direction. Help me to trust that He has a plan for my life, even when I cannot see it clearly. May His guidance lead me step by step, and may I have the courage to follow where He leads, knowing that He will never abandon me. Saint Padre Pio, I bring before you the deep pain of regret and guilt that I carry. There are mistakes I have made, actions I wish I could undo, and decisions I regret. These feelings of guilt weigh heavily on my soul, and I struggle to forgive myself. Please intercede for me, that God may grant me the grace to release these burdens. Help me to accept His forgiveness and to trust that He has removed my sins as far as the east is from the west. May His peace wash over me and heal the wounds of my past, so I can move forward in His grace. Saint Rita, I pray for those who are dealing with chronic stress. The constant pressure from work, family responsibilities, and life's challenges can feel unrelenting. Please intercede for me, that God may bring relief from the stress I carry. Help me to find moments of rest and renewal, and may He provide the peace that surpasses all understanding. Help me to trust in His provision and to remember that I do not have to bear these burdens alone. Saint Padre Pio, I ask for your intercession for those who are struggling with fear of the unknown, whether it's fear of change, fear of what the future holds, or fear of stepping out in faith. These fears often hold me back. Please intercede for me, that God may replace my fear with courage. Help me to trust that He is in control of all things and that He holds my future in His hands. May His perfect love cast out all fear, and may I walk forward in faith, knowing that He is with me every step of the way. Saint Rita, I pray for those who are searching for inner peace. The turmoil of life often robs me of the tranquility I long for. Please intercede for me, that God may calm the storm in my heart. Help me to find rest in His presence and to surrender my worries and anxieties to Him. May His peace reign in my heart, and may I be filled with the serenity that only He can provide. Saint Padre Pio, I lift up those who are dealing with strained relationships with friends or loved ones, whether through misunderstandings, broken trust, or unresolved conflicts. These relationships weigh heavily on my heart. Please intercede for me, that God may bring healing to these broken connections. Help me to be a vessel of peace and reconciliation, and may God soften the hearts of those involved, so that healing and restoration may take place. Saint Rita, I pray for those who are struggling to forgive others. The pain of betrayal or hurt can feel insurmountable, and I find it difficult to release the anger and bitterness in my heart. Please intercede for me, that God may grant me the grace to forgive as He has forgiven me. Help me to see others through His eyes of love and compassion, and may His mercy flow through me, bringing healing and freedom from the chains of unforgiveness. Saint Padre Pio, I bring before you the struggles I face with feelings of anger and frustration. At times, my emotions overwhelm me, and I feel powerless to control them. Please intercede for me, that God may help me find peace in my heart. Help me to channel my feelings in a healthy way, to respond with love rather than wrath, and to seek reconciliation in moments of conflict. May His grace soothe the turmoil in my soul, and may I find the strength to respond in kindness, no matter the situation. Saint Rita, I pray for those who feel like they are constantly battling discouragement and defeat. I often find myself feeling drained, as if I am swimming against a current that will never relent. Please intercede for me, that God may give me renewed strength and hope. Help me to trust that no struggle is ever wasted, and that in each moment of trial, He is working for my good. May I feel His presence more than ever in my moments of despair, and know that victory is near when I place my trust in Him. Saint Padre Pio, I ask for your intercession for those who feel trapped in cycles of bad decisions and poor choices. At times, I feel as though I am stuck in a pattern that I can't break, repeating the same mistakes over and over. Please intercede for me, that God may give me the wisdom to choose His path, to break free from the bonds of poor decisions, and to walk in the freedom He offers. May His grace transform my choices and lead me toward healing and restoration, so that I may live according to His will. Saint Rita, I pray for those who are struggling with addiction of any kind. The grip of addiction can be so powerful, and I often feel as though I have no control over it. Please intercede for me, that God may deliver me from this bondage. Help me to recognize the areas where I am weak, and give me the strength to resist temptation. May His healing touch break the chains that bind me, and may I find lasting freedom in Him, no longer enslaved by unhealthy habits or desires. Saint Padre Pio, I ask for your intercession for those who are burdened by the pressure to succeed, the weight of expectations from others, as well as the pressure I place on myself, often overwhelms me. Please intercede for me, that God may help me find peace in the journey, not just in the destination. Help me to remember that my worth is not measured by worldly success, but by the love God has for me. May He guide me through every step, teaching me to trust His timing and His plan, knowing that His love is the greatest success of all. Saint Rita, I lift up to you those who are experiencing confusion in their personal relationships, whether with family, friends, or a partner. It can be difficult to know what is best, and the uncertainty causes anxiety and stress. Please intercede for me, that God may grant me clarity and understanding in these relationships. Help me to communicate with love and truth, and may He heal any misunderstandings or hurt feelings. May His peace reign in my interactions, and may He bring reconciliation where there has been division. Saint Padre Pio, I come before you with the burden of financial insecurity. I often worry about how to meet my needs and provide for my loved ones. The weight of bills, debt, and expenses can feel overwhelming. Please intercede for me, that God may provide for my needs in His perfect way and timing. Help me to trust that He is my provider, and that I do not have to carry this burden alone. May He open doors of opportunity, lead me to the right resources, and bless my efforts so that I can experience peace in my financial situation. Saint Rita, I pray for those who feel distant from God, for those whose faith feels weak or non-existent. In moments of doubt, I wonder if He hears me, or if He is even near. Please intercede for me, that God may draw me closer to Him. Help me to feel His presence more deeply, to know His love in a real and tangible way, and to grow in faith. May He renew my trust in Him, and may I feel His embrace in moments of uncertainty, knowing that He is always with me. Saint Padre Pio, I ask for your intercession for those who are feeling a deep sense of frustration in their work or career. The pressure to perform, to meet expectations, and to feel fulfilled in my work can often be discouraging. Please intercede for me, that God may help me find purpose and joy in the work I do, regardless of the circumstances. May He give me the strength to continue, even when things feel difficult, and may He help me remember that He is using me in ways that I cannot yet see. Saint Rita, I lift up to you those who are suffering from mental health challenges. Anxiety, depression, and stress often cloud my mind, and I feel weighed down by these invisible burdens. Please intercede for me, that God may grant me peace of mind and emotional healing. Help me to surrender these thoughts and feelings to Him, and to trust that He is capable of bringing healing where I cannot. May His peace fill my mind and heart, and may I experience His freedom from the darkness of fear and doubt. Saint Padre Pio, I come before you with a heart full of grief and sorrow, whether from the loss of a loved one or the pain of broken dreams. The weight of sadness often overwhelms me. Please intercede for me, that God may comfort me in my sorrow and bring me healing for the wounds I carry. Help me to remember that He is near to the brokenhearted and that He will never leave me or forsake me. May His love bring light into my darkness, and may I find hope even in the midst of loss. Saint Padre Pio, I come to you in my time of uncertainty, asking for your intercession in my life. I often feel lost and unsure of which direction to take. Decisions, big and small, leave me feeling overwhelmed, and I worry about making the wrong choice. Please intercede for me, that God may provide me with the wisdom and clarity I need to move forward with confidence. Help me to trust in His guidance and to be patient as I await His direction. May He give me peace in my heart as I make decisions, knowing that His plan is always for my good. Saint Rita, I ask for your intercession for those who are struggling with loneliness. In the quiet moments, when the world feels distant and the heart aches for companionship, I often feel a deep sense of isolation. Please intercede for me, that God may fill the emptiness I feel with His presence and love. Help me to remember that I am never truly alone, for He is always with me. May He also bring people into my life who will offer support, friendship, and love. And may I find comfort in knowing that His love is enough to fill every void. Saint Padre Pio, I lift up to you those who are burdened by guilt and shame. There are times when I feel weighed down by past mistakes, unable to move forward because of the heaviness I carry. Please intercede for me, that God may heal my heart and free me from the chains of regret. Help me to truly forgive myself and to accept the forgiveness He offers. May His grace wash over me, and may I feel the freedom that comes from knowing I am made new in His sight. Saint Rita, I pray for those who are struggling with addiction, be it to substances, behaviors, or habits that have a hold over them. I understand the pain of feeling trapped and powerless. Please intercede for me, that God may grant the strength to break free from these chains. Help me to find the courage to seek the help I need and to rely on God's strength to overcome the temptation that calls me back. May He restore my life to one of freedom, and peace, and may I walk in His grace each day. Saint Padre Pio, I pray for those who are struggling in their relationships, particularly marriages. I often find myself in conflict or disconnected from those I love most. Please intercede for me, that God may heal any rifts in my relationships and bring peace to my home. Help me to communicate with love, to be patient and kind, and to seek reconciliation where there has been division. May His love bind us together in unity, and may He help us grow closer to one another and to Him. Saint Rita, I lift up to you all those who are facing challenges in their academic or professional lives, whether I am struggling to meet deadlines, facing difficulty in my studies or career, or feeling unfulfilled in my work. I often feel as though I am not achieving all that I should. Please intercede for me, that God may grant me the strength to persevere and the wisdom to succeed. Help me to remember that every challenge is an opportunity for growth, and that with God's guidance, I can overcome anything that stands in my way. Saint Padre Pio, I ask for your intercession for those who are dealing with physical pain or illness. I know how difficult it can be to face a body that feels broken, whether through disease, injury, or chronic conditions. Please intercede for me, that God may bring healing and restoration to my body. Help me to trust in His ability to heal and to accept His will for my life, whether He brings healing through miraculous means or through the strength to endure. May He grant me peace in my suffering and the courage to face each day with faith. Saint Rita, I pray for those who are in financial distress, unsure how they will make ends meet or provide for their loved ones. I understand the weight of financial burdens and the fear that comes with the inability to control one's situation. Please intercede for me, that God may open doors of provision and lead me to solutions that will alleviate my financial struggles. Help me to trust in His promises and to find peace in knowing that He is my provider. May He guide me in making wise financial decisions, and may He bring abundance and relief into my life. Saint Padre Pio, I ask for your intercession for those who feel discouraged in their spiritual lives. I often find myself distant from God, struggling to maintain my faith and devotion. Please intercede for me, that God may renew my spirit and draw me closer to Him. Help me to experience His presence in a deeper way and to hunger for His word more than ever before. May He ignite a fire in my soul for prayer and worship, and may I feel His love in every moment. Saint Rita, I pray for those who are experiencing deep emotional pain, whether from the loss of a loved one, a broken relationship, or the weight of unhealed wounds. I know how the heart can ache and how it feels as if the pain will never end. Please intercede for me, that God may bring healing to my broken heart. Help me to feel His comfort in the midst of my grief, and to trust that His love will mend all that is broken. May His peace replace the sorrow in my heart, and may I find hope again in the promise of His healing. Saint Padre Pio, I come to you with a heart full of worry for the future. The uncertainty of what lies ahead often overwhelms me, and I struggle to find peace in the unknown. Please intercede for me, that God may help me to surrender my fears and anxieties to Him. Help me to trust that He holds my future in His hands and that His plans for me are good. May He give me peace in knowing that no matter what happens, He is with me every step of the way. Saint Rita, I come before you, asking for your intercession for those who feel overwhelmed by the responsibilities of daily life. I know how exhausting it can be to juggle multiple duties, to feel as though there is never enough time to get everything done. Please intercede for me, that God may grant me the strength to face each day with energy and grace. Help me to manage my responsibilities wisely and to not become discouraged by the weight of them. May God's presence renew my spirit each day, and may I always feel His guidance as I navigate the busyness of life. Saint Padre Pio, I ask for your intercession for those struggling with fear of failure. I often find myself paralyzed by doubts about my abilities, afraid that I will not succeed in my endeavors. Please intercede for me, that God may strengthen my confidence in Him and in myself. Help me to overcome my fears and to take bold steps toward the goals He has placed in my heart. May I remember that I can do all things through Christ, who strengthens me, and that His plan for me is greater than any fear I may have. Saint Rita, I pray for those suffering from a lack of peace in their hearts. In a world full of chaos and noise, it can be difficult to find stillness and peace within. Please intercede for me, that God may grant me the peace that surpasses all understanding. Help me to quiet my mind and rest in His presence, knowing that He is the ultimate source of true peace. May I always carry His peace within me, no matter the circumstances around me. Saint Padre Pio, I pray for those who are burdened by the stress of uncertainty in their lives. It is difficult to live without knowing what the future holds, and sometimes I struggle to trust in God's plan. Please intercede for me, that God may grant me the patience and trust to wait for His perfect timing. Help me to release my worries into His hands, knowing that He is in control. May He give me peace and assurance, even when I cannot see the way forward. Saint Rita, I pray for all those who are feeling hopeless and in despair. I know what it's like to feel as though the light at the end of the tunnel is far out of reach. Please intercede for me, that God may reignite my hope and faith. Help me to remember that with God, all things are possible, and that He will make a way even when I see none. May He replace my despair with hope, and may I always trust in His love and provision, no matter how hopeless things may seem. Saint Padre Pio, I come before you for those who are experiencing doubt in their faith. I often find myself questioning and struggling to trust in God's promises. Please intercede for me, that God may strengthen my faith and help me to believe in His goodness, even when I cannot see it. Help me to remember that faith is not based on what I see, but on trust in the one who is faithful. May He deepen my relationship with Him, and may my faith grow stronger each day. Saint Rita, I ask for your intercession for those who are dealing with struggles in their personal identity. Sometimes I feel lost, unsure of who I am or where I belong. Please intercede for me, that God may reveal my true identity to me and help me to see myself through His eyes. May He remind me that I am His beloved child, created for a purpose and loved beyond measure. Help me to find peace in who I am, knowing that I am exactly who He created me to be. Saint Padre Pio, I ask for your intercession for those who are struggling with shame from past mistakes. It can be hard to forgive myself for the things I have done, and the weight of regret often feels unbearable. Please intercede for me, that God may help me to release my shame and embrace His forgiveness. Help me to see that I am not defined by my past, but by His grace and love. May His mercy wash over me and set me free from the chains of guilt. Saint Rita, I pray for those who are seeking guidance in their relationships, whether in marriage, friendship, or family. Relationships can be challenging, and I often don't know what the right thing to do is. Please intercede for me, that God may give me the wisdom to know how to love others well, and the courage to speak truth when needed. May He help me to build relationships that are grounded in love, respect, and understanding. Saint Padre Pio, I come before you for those who feel burdened by the weight of expectations. Whether from others or self-imposed, I often feel like I am constantly striving to meet expectations that seem impossible to fulfill. Please intercede for me, that God may help me to release the pressure I place on myself and to rest in His sufficiency. Help me to remember that I am enough as I am, and that He does not expect perfection from me, only a heart that is open to His will. Saint Rita, I lift up to you those who are facing challenges in their academic or professional lives. It can be difficult to stay motivated when the road ahead seems long and the rewards distant. Please intercede for me, that God may grant me perseverance and determination to pursue my goals. Help me to stay focused on the tasks before me and to trust that He will provide what I need to succeed. Saint Padre Pio, I pray for those who feel burdened by disappointment and unfulfilled hopes. I know the pain of dreams that have not come to fruition and the weariness that comes from striving and not seeing results. Please intercede for me, that God may renew my strength and remind me that His timing is always perfect. Help me to trust that He has a good plan for my life, even if it looks different from what I imagined. May He bring new hope to my heart and the courage to keep moving forward in faith. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. My dear friends, remember that miracles are happening as you pray with faith. Continue trusting in the intercession of Saint Padre Pio and Saint Rita of Cascia. Know that God is working in your life, and your prayers are being answered in His perfect timing. Keep holding on to hope and faith, for nothing is impossible with God. Stay encouraged, and remember that with God, all things are possible.